Welcome to another episode of the 99 Seconds Career Podcast. My name is Jürgen Schmid. I am career mentor and coach, consultant, teacher and speaker. Here we will bring up all kinds of career aspects in a way you have maybe never heard before. I'd like you to have an awesome career. Therefore, we give you something money cannot buy, sharing experience and insight. All this every other week in 99 seconds. If you have a job, you very likely have a boss. And even your boss will have a boss. Bosses typically provide direction. They implement plans and motivate people to help them doing this. How this is done, which behaviors and strategies they use to interact with their team members and influence their action towards achieving goals is called leadership or management style. There are many types of those styles around, from A, like autocratic leadership, to Z, like zero defect leadership. What type of leadership style is used has a significant impact, either positive or negative, on organizational culture, employee morale, and productivity. Different organizations may favor a specific leadership style depending on their culture, goals, and industry. For example, Apple is known for its visionary and transformational leadership under Steve Jobs. He inspired innovation and a strong company culture centered around creativity and design excellence. Google emphasizes a collaborative environment where employees are encouraged to share ideas and participate in decision-making processes. This democratic and participative leadership fosters innovation and employee satisfaction. Amazon, under Jeff Bezos, has been characterized by a focus on efficiency, metrics, and a rigorous performance-driven culture. This leadership style is often seen as transactional and data-driven, emphasizing rewards and accountability. Toyota is known for its systematic and process-oriented approach, exemplified by the Toyota Production System, TPS. This leadership style focuses on continuous improvement, Kaizen, and operational excellence, and is often called a bureaucratic and lean leadership style. Southwest Airlines places a strong emphasis on employee well-being and customer satisfaction. Leadership there is often described as servant leadership. There have been many improvements in understanding leadership lately, yet many of those styles refer to outdated and debunked leadership practices that continue to persist despite being proven ineffective. Alex Haslam, a professor of social and organizational psychology at the University of Queensland, calls those zombie leadership. And according to him, many of those dead ideas are still walking among us. Let's dive into the 99 seconds, plus a little bit more, and find out which underlying myths make up zombie leadership and why it is worth fighting against the walking dead. The ideas that make up zombie leadership, I'll explain them in a second, still stick around not because they are proven, but because they comfort regular people who often feel overwhelmed by a complicated world. These ideas are spread through everyday talk about leadership, as well as by the media, popular books, consultants, HR practices, policymakers, and some academics. Plus, as we will see, they appeal to powerful people and the industry that supports them. So, what are those zombie leadership ideas? Alex Haslam and his co-workers identified 8. First, leadership is all about leaders. Many popular leadership books focus too much on leaders alone, their skills, behaviors, and decisions, while neglecting the role of team members. This zombie leadership assumes only those in formal roles can lead, and that leadership can be understood by looking at these leaders alone. However, real leadership often comes from immediate supervisors and team members who take informal roles. Studies show that such informal leaders often have a greater positive impact on team success and well-being than those high-profile leaders. Second, there are specific qualities that all great leaders have. Many discussions about leadership focus on whether leaders are born with certain traits or developed through experience. While modern views emphasize that leaders are made, some still believe genetic traits play a role. Popular writing often glorifies leaders for their exceptional qualities like intelligence or charisma. However, research shows that many factors unrelated to personal traits, like historical context or external events, heavily influence perceptions of leadership greatness. Ultimately, leadership quality is subjective and depends largely on the relationship between leaders and their followers. Third, there are specific things that all great leaders do. In the mid-20th century, leadership research shifted from focusing on traits to behavior, emphasizing two key behaviors: consideration, treating team members well and fair, and initiating structure, organizing tasks and initiating change. This approach influenced modern management, often valuing change over stability. However, real leadership also involves maintaining morale, culture, and resolving conflict. Effective leadership behaviors vary by context and group perception, not fitting a simple checklist. This complexity highlights the flaws in the zombie leadership focus on individual leaders over their interaction with followers. Fourth, we all know a great leader when we see one. Zombie leadership assumes we can all recognize great leadership easily, but in reality, this is based on shared identities and values of those judging. For example, historians from prestigious US universities often agree on great US presidents, but this consensus wouldn't hold if a more diverse group of people were surveyed. Perception of leadership are influenced by the values and identities of those appraising, not by the inherent qualities of the leader. This approach often ignores diverse perspectives, focusing only on the views of the powerful. Fifth, all leadership is the same. Leadership scholars have highlighted the significance of how followers perceive leaders, yet some still believe that leadership essence can be distilled and universally understood. However, the perception of leadership varies depending on time, space, and the specific group being led. Leaders are always tied to a particular context, such a nation, a company, or a team. Thus, effective leadership is contingent upon understanding and adapting to the group's norm, values, and goals. Leadership cannot be standardized because what motivates and inspires one group might not resonate with another. Additionally, leadership manifests differently across various contexts and is often messy. Zombie leadership ignores historical, cultural, and contextual factors, treating leadership as a one-size-fits-all solution. Despite evidence to the contrary, it persists in believing that leadership skills are easily transferable across domains. 6. Leadership is a special skill limited to special people. Many believe that only a selected few possesses the qualities to be leaders, often glorifying them as almost godlike figures. This belief leads to significant equality in status and pay, justifying heavy investment in top talent and fostering grandiosity amongst leaders. This glamorous image overshadows practical leadership tasks. Research shows that glorifying leaders undermines their effectiveness, reduces employee motivation, and creates a psychological distance between leaders and their teams. Despite this, the belief in elite leadership persists. 7. Leadership is always good, and it is always good for everyone. The zombie leadership belief holds that leadership is inherently good and linked to positive qualities like integrity and morality. This idea is reflected in popular leadership texts and development programs that promise personal and organizational improvement. However, this view overlooks the reality that leaders can also cause harm. For example, high company profits may result from poor working conditions or layoffs. Moreover, qualities seen as positive, like a desire for change, can lead to negative behaviors like narcissism and bullying. Ultimately, leadership's impact depends on whom it benefits and whom it harms. Ignoring those complexities simplifies leadership into a misleading positive concept. 8. People can't cope without leaders. Even if we reject other beliefs, many think leadership is always needed and more of it is better. This view is reinforced by cultural references like Lord of the Flies or Mad Max, which suggests that without leaders, chaos ensues. However, this overlooks the reality that groups can self-organize effectively without a single leader. Studies show that high group cohesion, professional orientation, and intrinsically motivating tasks can substitute for leadership. Experiments found that groups with formally selected leaders perform worse than those without leaders. Identifying leaders can disrupt performance by alienating group members, causing leaders to interfere unnecessarily, and making followers disengage. The idea of leaders as saviors creates a harmful divide between leaders and followers, reinforcing hierarchy and ignoring the nuanced reality of group dynamic. Yet, zombie leadership ignores these complexities, insisting that followers need leaders to thrive. Is all of this a problem? I think yes. Zombie leadership is a significant problem. By only looking for leadership amongst the elite, it ignores and suppresses grassroots leadership. Training and selecting only a few for leadership roles ensures that only a few develop leadership qualities. This elitist approach reinforces itself, creating a world where leadership is seen as exclusive and top-down. Thus, the danger of zombie leadership lies not in its partial truth, but in how it shapes reality to fit its narrow vision. To combat zombie leadership, we must recognize its harmful effect. It alienates ordinary people, wasting human potential, reduces group productivity, and fosters elitism and unequal wealth distribution. Instead, we should promote leadership that values relationships, collective goals, and the contribution of all group members, because this better reflects the complexities of modern organizations. This approach can help create more inclusive and productive societies and organizations, countering the elitist tendencies of zombie leadership. These were, in a bit more than 99 seconds, some insight into zombie leadership. What are your thoughts? Let me know by answering a short poll in Spotify. Hope you enjoyed listening and you will tune in for our next episode in 2 weeks. We will then look at things to consider should you want to resign from your current job. What to do before resigning. If you like my approach towards career and professional development and want to get some more personalized guidance, please reach out. I'm here to help. I'm a career coach and mentor and would love to hear from you, whether you live round the corner or on the other side of the world. Simply go to www.99scp.com, SCP like Seconds Career Podcast, and leave me a comment or any other remark you might have. They really mean the world to me. Also, please do not forget to press follow. And if you see a bell or heart icon to be notified when new episodes are coming out, please press that too, so you will never miss a new one. This was another episode of the 99 Seconds Career Podcast. Thank you for listening and thinking along. I wish you success for the path you're following or creating. My name is Jürgen Schmid, and until next time, be the difference, remain curious and shine.